How do I test a class that has private methods, fields, or inner classes in Java? This follows the same teaching style as your earlier Java and Spring Boot topics. Introduction. When writing unit tests in Java, developers often encounter classes that contain private methods, private fields, private inner classes. A very common question is, how should we test private members in Java? Beginners are often confused because private methods are not directly accessible, private fields cannot be accessed normally, inner classes may be hidden, unit tests seem difficult. This topic helps learners understand what private members are, whether private methods should be tested directly, best testing approaches, reflection-based testing, design improvements, best practices. This is an important Java testing and design concept. What are private members? Private members are accessible only inside the same class. Example: private void calculate total, or private string password, or private class helper. Example concept: private equals hidden from outside world. Why private members exist? Private members help with encapsulation, hiding implementation details, preventing misuse, cleaner APIs. Example concept: internal logic hidden means external code uses public methods only. Key testing principle: usually, you should test behavior, not implementation details. This is the most important idea. What does that mean? Instead of testing private methods directly, check. Test the public method that uses them. Example concept: public API means triggers private logic, means verify result. Example 1. Testing through public method. Class public class calculator. Public int add, int A, int B, return validate A plus validate B. Private int validate, int value. Return math max value 0. Correct test. At test, void test add. Calculator calc equals new calculator. Assert equals 5, calc.add 23. Why this is correct? Private method is tested indirectly. Example concept: public method means uses private logic, means behavior verified. Why directly testing private methods is usually discouraged? Private methods are implementation details subject to change, not part of public contract. If tests depend heavily on private methods, refactoring becomes difficult, tests become fragile. Example concept: internal change means unnecessary test failures. When testing private methods might be necessary. Sometimes private methods contain very complex logic, independent algorithms, large calculations. This may indicate the logic should be extracted into another class. Better design approach: extract class before private double calculate tax double amount. After public class tax calculator. Public double calculate tax double amount. Declination. Now method is public and separate class and easily testable. Example concept: complex private logic means extracted service, means cleaner design. Testing private methods using reflection. Possible, but not preferred. Java reflection allows access to private members. Example method: method equals myClass.class.getDeclared method calculate. Method set accessible true. Object result equals method.invoke myObject. Example concept: reflection bypasses access control, means private method invoked. Why reflection testing is usually discouraged: breaks encapsulation, brittle tests, harder maintenance, slower execution. Testing private fields. Example: private string secret, ABC. Reflection access field. Field equals myClass.class, get declared field, secret. Field set accessible, true. String value equals string field dot get ob. Better approach. Prefer testing behavior instead of internal state. Testing private inner classes. Example: private class helper. Problem: private inner class cannot be accessed directly. Better solution: extract it into Package private class, separate class, example concept. Hidden reusable logic means move to dedicated class. Package private alternative. Instead of private, use package private. Class helper. Now, tests in same package can access it. Example concept. Limited visibility means still testable. Mockito and private methods. Mockito does not directly mock private methods. Mockito focuses on public behavior dependencies, important principle. If you need to mock private methods heavily, design may need improvement. PowerMock advanced. Libraries like PowerMock can mock private methods. Example. PowerMock when object private method, then return value. Why it is rarely recommended. Complex, fragile, hard maintenance, tightly coupled tests. Best testing strategy preferred order. 1. Test public behavior. Best approach. 2. Extract complex private logic into separate class. Better design. 3. Use package private visibility if appropriate. Moderate option. 4. Use reflection only when absolutely necessary. Last resort. Real-world example. Bad design public class report service. Private string generate huge complex logic. Hard to test. Better design public class report generator. Public string generate. Then. Now independently testable. Benefits of proper design. Easier testing. Cleaner architecture. Better maintainability. Reusable logic. Simpler debugging. Common beginner mistakes. 1. Trying to test every private method directly, usually unnecessary. 2. Overusing reflection, breaks encapsulation. 3. Writing huge classes, leads to hidden complex logic. 4. Using PowerMock excessively, creates fragile tests. 5. Confusing implementation testing with behavior testing. Behavior matters more. Best practice. Best practices include test public behavior, keep methods small, extract complex logic into separate classes, avoid testing implementation details, use reflection sparingly. Example concept. Good design means naturally testable code. Advantages of following these practices: stable tests, easier refactoring, cleaner codebase, maintainable architecture, improved readability. Challenges: legacy code, overly large classes, hidden business logic, tight coupling. Concepts learned in this topic. 1. What private members are. Why direct testing is discouraged. How to test through public methods. Reflection-based testing. Design improvements for testability. Best practices. Simple definition. Testing private methods, usually done indirectly through public methods, because private methods are implementation details and not part of the public API. Final summary. In Java, private methods, fields, and inner classes are intentionally hidden. Best practice. Check test public behavior. Avoid testing implementation details directly. Text, extract complex private logic into separate classes. Reflection can access private members. Set accessible, true, but should be used carefully. Key idea. Well-designed code becomes naturally easier to test without exposing private internals. Once you understand this, you can write cleaner, more maintainable, and testable Java applications.